Welcome to America's National Park of Speed, beautiful Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. And our first race of the day is just now getting underway as International GT, their final sprint race of the weekend. We've been treated to some fantastic racing from International GT throughout the weekend. I'm John Phippen. Joining me in the booth is Ben Sissel, and we'll keep you up to speed on this race as they're heading out for their first of two pace laps. Ben, we have a couple cars missing. We understand Michael Merritt is not going to be able to answer the bell as he's had a problematic weekend. That car has gone one pace lap, and then on the second pace lap, he's pulled off right here at turn 3, both races. So, unfortunately, an issue apparently they haven't been able to resolve, so he won't be in the grid. Also, Juan Gonzalez, after a great race yesterday, he decided, I'm going to head home. So he packed up and headed out.
That's normal for Juan. He wants to be home. You know, he's running a global business.
Exactly.
So his business lets him come here for maybe 2-3 days, but he's got to be home for Sunday so that he can, go to work in truly a global business. I want to say he's in he has 140 factories in I think 110 countries or something along the lines of that.
Yeah.
So you never know where he's going to be. So we love, but he had a party last night at his place. He was there, and then packed up and left after that. So that's understandable. The Michael Merritt thing, you were saying it happened in both races. After it happened in the first race, some of the people in the paddock pulled together, and they were working with him and gave him some parts, and they thought they had fixed it, and they hadn't. But I do really appreciate that he recognized that he didn't have a working car, pulled off, and we were able to start the race. I'm getting a thumbs up.
Okay.
So the cars are coming down. It is the early morning broadcast, and we've switched, I guess we can call them offices right now, so we're kind of working through some things. But, man, I am so happy to be here. We had our early morning staff meeting. It is Sunday at the National Park of Speed. We're looking out our window. I see some fantastic cars in the paddock, some fantastic cars on track. International GT has had one of the best International GT weekends I've seen.
Let's hope we don't jinx it.
Yeah, and then, John, I was telling Lee and the bosses that be last night at Racing America, I've had so much fun in the booth with you these last 2 weeks, so I appreciate it.
Well, great. Glad to have you with me, man. I hope we can make this a regular part of our streaming coverage here. Let's introduce these starters to you as we got Richard Grant alone in row number 9 in the number 30 car. He's one of the Caymans on the Cayman 4-liter class. In row 8 on the outside, the only Ferrari in the field, the F488 of Youssef Nabi in the 03 car. Next to him in that row is the points leader in the Stuttgart Cup for the Cayman class cars. That's Kurt Kropp in the number 641 4-liter Cayman. And then we have two GTX cars in the field, exhibition class cars. One of them is Robert Garza. He's outside of row 7 in the number 67. That's a 2018 Audi R8 LMS GT4 car. Next to him, the 109 of Ryan Chakowski in a Cayman, a 3.8-liter car. He's a local driver from right here in Wisconsin. Ryan Camp starts outside of row 6 in the number 9 Cayman. Alongside him is the number 24 of Joseph Rizzo in another of the 4-liter Caymans. In row 5 on the outside, the 216 is Nick Groombridge in one of the GT992 cars competing for the Mission Foods GT3 Cup. Next to him, the 06 of Mustafa Bakir in another GT992. The top two Caymans start in row 4. On the outside is the 819 of Robert Gee. Bobby Gee in one of the 4-liter Caymans, and then Coleman Hall in the number 79 4-liter Cayman starts alongside. The top 3 rows are all GT4 cars with one exception. Matthew Cohn, who is the points leader in the Mission Foods GT3 Cup, will start outside of row 3. Next to him would have been Juan Gonzalez, but he has been scratched. As we move forward into row 2, the 08 is Cliff Kayer in a GT992, and the 058 of Bill Oliver in another 992. And on the front row, Reg Williams, who had a dominant performance in yesterday's Enduro in the 008 GT4R, and on the pole, the number 7, that's the other exhibition class car, Charles Wicht in that 2020 Bentley GT3. Big thundering V8 in that car.
Yeah, and he's been a lot of fun to watch because he's very good in the straights, but, big weight, big thundering car like that, these Porsches of Reg Williams can sometimes catch him in the twisty bits. I've got some fun little comments here. Emily Oliver says she's here
but she can't really chat because she's trying to sneakily watch while at church. Well, I'll tell you, Emily, that being at church and having that kind of commitment, I think that's going to probably take about a tenth of a second off of each lap.
Every bit.
He's going to make Bill Oliver just a little bit faster.
Every bit.
And, oh, man, Bob Gee told me how to pronounce his name, and I forget how he said it, and I told him yesterday.
It's either G or Gee.
No,
yeah.
It is Gee. No,
yeah.
his crew person who hangs out with us every weekend took my kids on a ride in his Tesla, but he says shake and bake, baby, because they call him Ricky Bob Gee, from Talladega Nights. And then Thomas Ballister, one of our drivers, also one of our food manufacturers who was with us at Mid-Ohio in the Colosso car.
Yeah.
Says, let's go IGT Mission Foods Weekend Warriors. So, Tommy, we miss you here, but hope you're going to be back soon. He's one of the racers with Quirt. But we're having a great weekend here at Road America. Great view. We've got an in-car view here with that Goldcrest car. That should be Reg Williams because I see the Bentley just in front of him.
Yeah, Reg Williams, who had a dominant performance in that Enduro yesterday. So looking forward to more of the same. He and Bob Oliver have been having a good battle at the sharp edge. And don't count out Cliff Kayer and Matthew Cohn. They've been in the thick of it. And then the two Cayman leaders, Coleman Hall and Bob Gee, have also had a great performance this weekend as they've been swapping that lead back and forth. Our points have not been updated since the beginning of the weekend, so these points are probably not exactly what we've got, but we've still got Kurt Kropp as the points leader in the Stuttgart Cup Championship. Joe Rizzo is second among the drivers that are here this weekend, and third is Coleman Hall. And then for the Mission Foods GT3 Cup, Matt Cohn is the points leader coming into this weekend. Cliff Kayer second, Mustafa Bakir, the third ranking driver in the points championship for the Mission Foods GT3 Cup. The Maranello Cup, just a single driver here this weekend. We started the weekend with two cars, but Gotham had some problems with the number 270, so they've withdrawn it, and it's just the 03 of Youssef Nabi in that Ferrari 488 Challenge.
Last year's Maranello Cup champion.
Indeed, and the co-leader of the championship this year. So he's going to be a force to be reckoned with for the Maranello Cup for sure. Is that big Bentley right-hand drive coming through Canada Corner.
And right-hand drive.
Yeah.
It's a heavy car, but that would come in handy here in North America.
Exactly.
It's mostly right-hand turns.
It's a clockwise racetrack, so therefore there have to be more right-hand turns than left.
We used to have a driver that drove a Lotus 7 that had an identical left and right. It's not John Nash, it's a different one.
Yeah.
And he would pick by the track where he had the advantage. And in a Lotus 7, that little weight would really help you. But you see, we can't forget about Steve Giannone in the passenger seat of that Ray Skillman safety car.
He is the brother of our CEO, Lee Giannone, and so great to have Steve along with us this weekend. We've had some great fun with he and his brother last night. We had a nice chat with those two as James Rogerson takes the Skillman Auto Group Mustang safety car into the pit lane, turning the front row over to Charles Wicht and Wedge Williams. Wicht on your right, Williams on your left as they climb under the Mission Foods Bridge and under the attention of the starter. He's waiting, and there's the green. And that big V8 gets a little bit of a jump as they head down toward turn number one. Right down the middle of the track is Charles Wicht, and Reg Williams knows to just follow in behind, my friend.
But Bill Oliver looking to the inside, just can't quite make it. Ooh, it's Cliff Kayer side by side with his teammate. Makes a pass on Bill Oliver.
Heading down into turn number 3. Still a lot of side-by-side racing as these drivers still sorting each other out as they work their way through 3, which leads on to this long straightaway. Heading down the moraine sweep under the Sargento Bridge down to turn 5. Long shadows here this morning as they've got headlights on because the shade is so deep here. That'll be gone by about mid-morning as the sun will get higher in the sky.
Bob Gee, every race has pulled ahead of Coleman Hall at the start. Now there's Coleman behind Nicholas Groombridge. Coleman has won every race. Bob's been second, but Bob's getting a better start. So I wonder if Coleman's just kind of waiting for it to come to him, or if Bob is just a very good starter. But that's going to be fun to watch, see if Coleman can get around Nicholas Groombridge and then Bob Gee.
And Charles Wicht in the Bentley starting to pull a gap here. Yesterday he did not do that. He stayed right in touch with the rest of the field. And although he did take the win, it wasn't a commanding lead. Yeah. But this time he is really wasting no time getting up to speed here and beginning to stretch the advantage over Reg Williams and Bill Oliver.
We did 2 pace laps, just like any IGT, but this early morning, and like you were saying, the long shadows through Kettle Bottoms or down to the approach of turn 5, that does change the temperature, and this is different conditions than they were on yesterday.
Yeah, in the heat of the afternoon, late in the day yesterday for that Enduro. But down into Canada corner, good shot of the 008 of Reg Williams.
Yeah, that's just kind of one better than James Bond, isn't it? 008, I guess is what they would say.
Exactly.
And then I love, we were talking about it yesterday, that the Bentley, you see the 07 on that front grille.
Right.
Because when they were racing in the 20s and 30s, that's what they did. They just, spray painted on that grille mesh. And I love that they still kind of harken back to those days. And he's running the British Racing Green.
Yeah, exactly. The old blower Bentleys back in the day, as they were always formidable at the 24 Hours of Le Mans, especially.
Yeah.
As they head down in turn 1, but Wicht is trying to get away here, and Williams has opened up a big lap. But look at this battle, side by side.
That's Matthew Cohn, Bill Oliver. Matthew Cohn with that substance car. Oh, and look at this, an over-under. Matthew Cohn with off-leash, going off-leash there. A great move on Bill Oliver, over-under at Q3 turn 1.
Fantastic job for him, as he played that perfectly, as Oliver went just a little bit wide, and that allowed Cohn to pull that over-under move under the Sargento Bridge down toward turn 5. Sorry, Ben.
No. In the Stuttgart Cup, we've got Bob Gee and Coleman Hall. Now, Coleman Hall right behind him. Like I said, Coleman has won everything so far in the Stuttgart Cup this weekend. Very fast driver, celebrating his 18th birthday. And Bob Gee ahead of him. And somewhere about now, they're going to have a battle. And that's been the case. I find that odd. Coleman's a very fast driver, and I wonder if he's just, wants to be patient at the start, or if Bob Gee's just getting a fantastic jump every time.
Yeah. We'll see how that works out. As, like I said, Coleman has been able to get in front of Bob Gee before the end of the race so far for the 3 races we've had this weekend. But every race is a little bit different. Mm-hmm. Conditions are a little bit different. The drivers can make some adjustments in their setup, perhaps. Tire choice is always an issue as to whether they start on a fresh set of tires for this final race of the weekend.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that strategy plays out.
I have been so impressed with those Cayman 4-liters. And a lot of people in the Porsche world were kind of upset by it, as Coleman Hall and Bob Gee are given a battle here coming into next gen, because they are so good. And we're seeing that right now. Bill Oliver, Matthew Cohn, very good drivers. And for those Cayman 4-liters to keep up with them, there isn't a huge disparity between the cars. Like there is, let's say, if that's the Ford GT and then the Ford Mustang, there's a pretty big disparity there. But these little Cayman 4-liters are very capable cars.
Very stout indeed. And, they've been learning a lot of things about those cars. And
Coleman coming up behind Bob Gee. We might have a pass in the Stuttgart Cup. It's fun, too, because sometimes we don't often get to cover the Stuttgart Cup, but they're right up there in the mix of the front, trying to get the draft, and I don't think he's going to make a move here.
Not here, but he is right there. Again, this is the battle for the lead in the Stuttgart Cup. Charles Wicht sets fast lap of the race at 2:10.031, as he's opened up a 7-second lead already over Reg Williams, who is no slouch in that 008. Cliff Kayer in the 3rd spot. Matthew Cohn in 4th in the green highlighted number 210. And then this battle we've been watching between Gee and Hall as they work their way into the shadows here, down toward turn number 5.
And here comes Coleman on the inside of Bob Gee into Mission Foods turn 5, John. Maybe
right on cue. But Gee's going to do the over-under, perhaps?
Maybe. Oh, just a little bit of a block. I think Bob would say that was a block. I don't know if our stewards would.
It was creative width of the car. Let's put it that way.
But I love it. I've known Bob Gee now for probably 8 to 9 years. Just a fantastic person from the Chicago area. Like I said, the Cookie King of Chicago. He's running his son's pizza company is on the side of his cars. But he has put so much work these last probably 18 months into his racecraft. And it's really paying off. I love seeing that. He got the best of his friend Michael Origer at Mid-Ohio 2 weeks ago in our Group 6 SVRA, and he's been moving up the reins in IGT. And be able to keep up with such an accomplished driver as Coleman, that really says a lot about Bob Gee.
Indeed it does, yeah. So we'll keep an eye on him. A little further up the pack, Nicholas Groombridge in the yellow and black, number 216, just behind him. Mustafa Bakir is only half a second behind him in the battle for 8th, so that's a good one as well.
If you're wondering, I did meet Handsome Garza's fiance.
Okay, great.
And at the winner's circle, so she wasn't just trolling us in the comments yesterday. And I got to admit, he is very handsome, the driver of that Audi that's out there in the GTX class.
Coleman Hall's putting a little pressure on William Oliver here. That's an unusual happenstance. You said the Caymans have really shown their pace here.
Emily at church, you better pray a little bit harder here.
Bill Oliver, I'm sure, hates to be passed by one of the Stuttgart Cup cars, so we'll see if he's able to keep him behind.
He knows the talent of this driver, and the great way that we do this, how Julie does this, is the Stuttgart Cup has the yellow over the, what do they call those, the banners over the windshields?
Yeah.
But you could see, like, the roof line of the Caymans a little bit lower. They seem to be a little bit more slippery in the air. They don't quite have the power or the suspension geometry, but they are a little bit more mid-engine even than these 992s.
Indeed, they are. So it could well be that with the long straightaways here at Road America, they may well have a slight aerodynamic advantage, less drag, so that's able to keep them there. I'm guessing they're also a little bit lighter than the GT3 cars, so they should have maybe some advantages at some parts of the racetrack.
My friend Brad Roberts, who might be listening, he's here with Richard Grant. He's kind of like a Porsche guru, and he has nothing but good things to say about these Cayman 4-liters. And you can see that right now. And he was helping us out in the broadcast yesterday, giving us some pit lane updates. So I appreciate that, Brad Roberts.
Bill Oliver able to stretch his advantage a bit through the carousel turn. Let's see if he can maintain that as the leader of the Stuttgart Cup, closing down on it. But Oliver, I think, getting the hurry up, or seeing that Cayman looming in his mirrors, decided to turn the wick up just a little bit. But look at this, down through Kettle Bottoms. He's right back on his bumper again.
Yeah. Mary Hall saying, let's go Coleman. We have a lot of people watching us, joining in the comments. I love that. It's a beautiful early morning here on Sunday. What a great way to start the Sunday right here.
Absolutely. The sound of race cars in the air is a great way to kick off, get your adrenaline moving on a Sunday morning.
I've been camping here this whole weekend, and we got to hear the Plymouth dirt races last night from our campground that our friend Eric was announcing last night.
Yep.
This is a racing town here.
You betcha it is.
But look at that. I would think that Bill Oliver would pull away, but the distance, the gap there, maintains throughout the straightaway.
Yeah, seems to be pretty consistent. He's able to get a good run off of turn 14 and get that gap as they start on the straightaway. But quite frankly, at the top end, the two cars are very much equal.
Yeah. So Bill Oliver with Matrix had a great run with Bruno yesterday in the Enduro. And then Matthew Cohn, unhappy with some of his performances this weekend, but I think he's right where he needs to be right now, trying to chase down Cliff Kayer in that Dayglow green and black car with off-leash and substance with the headlights on. Very fast driver.
As they work their way up the hill under the Corvette Bridge at turn number 6. Oliver still holding off the challenge from Coleman Hall. Matthew Cohn just in front of him. There's the Bentley. And Reg Williams just about 6 seconds in front of this group as the Bentley continues to check out. Yeah, what a difference a day makes. Yesterday, Wicht was in touch with the rest of the field for the entire race, but this time he's got a 17-second lead already.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Reg Williams, a little bit further ahead than we talked about, and I listened to him at the podium yesterday when Tom Long got out of the car. Reg kind of told him, well, I'm going to have some great reference video to look at tonight. And so maybe Reg Williams saw something. Maybe he saw, I could brake a little bit deeper here, or I could turn in here. And, if that gives him 0.2 of a second a lap, that adds up. But Coleman Hall right behind Bill Oliver.
I'll tell you what, as we get into the later stages of this race, he's going to pull the trigger right there. That's where he is strongest compared to Oliver in front of him. So keep an eye on that battle. I'm thinking it's going to go right down to the wire here.
I guess I just don't know what I thought I knew about these Porsches, because I would think Coleman would be better in the twisty bits, but he's coming into Kettle Bottoms in that draft from Bill Oliver, and keeping up with him on the straightaways.
Yeah.
And I just didn't think that would be the case.
Yeah.
So I need to go have some school with Brad Roberts. He can tell me how that is. Because, see, he's keeping up with him here.
Yeah. But the Porsche is able to, the GT3 car is able to get that lead, because I think he's probably got a little more torque at his disposal, and that steep uphill run out of turn 14, he's able to get a little bit of a gap. Coleman can run with him, but he can't close down in that instance. But then the run through Kettle Bottoms down into Canada Corner, he's able to get much closer through the kink. Perhaps maybe he's carries a little bit of quarter speed through the kink.
And you
Downhill
can see
blast.
Bob Gee right behind Coleman Hall.
Yeah, he's not that far back. He's
Yeah.
about 2 seconds behind this battle.
And then Rizzo, who's been third, I think, every session so far in Stuttgart Cup, right behind Mustafa Bakir and Groombridge. So I'm guessing the Bakir and Groombridge battle might be pretty good.
Yeah, they've broken off a bit. It's about 4.5 seconds now between Groombridge running in 8th spot, Bakir in the 9th position.
This should be Dr. Reg.
As we're on board with Reg Williams in the Gold Coast Motorsports car, you can see
He's got a warning sign on his data thing. He's got, usually has a screen, looks like one of those like Garmin's, but there's instead of it showing him his data, it's got like a warning screen on there or something.
warning, you are driving too fast.
Yeah. You are exceeding
the speed limit. That's right.
Down through Kettle Bottoms. Reg Williams, like I said, one of our longtime IGT competitors. Very good driver. But Wicht has already crossed the start-finish line. So that put him down a lap here for a little bit. Here comes Dr. Reg Williams. He's an eye doctor.
Got it.
Very good eye doctor.
Working his way up the hill. Reg in the 008. 2017 Porsche GT3.
I love that shot. Coming up over the hill there.
Isn't that great?
There's that shot also at Lime Rock where they come up over the hill like that.
Yeah, no kidding. This is such a beautiful facility. I mean, I just love coming here. It's one of my favorite racetracks on the planet. And not only for the racetrack itself, but all the amenities that they have here. The strength of the streaming crew is just unmatched. If you were with us yesterday, all the stream you saw yesterday was coming from the big boards, basically the same feed they give to the Jumbotrons here at the track. And they do such a fantastic job. But here with our live race media streaming partners for Sunday's races, you can sure see the difference,
And who are from the great state of Wisconsin.
Right, their headquarters
right
in Green Bay, just about an hour north of here. Yeah. So this is a home race. Cam, our director, gets to sleep in his own bed. You know? It's pretty nice.
But it's cool to see him. I haven't seen him this season.
Yeah. Cam's been doing everything remotely. We were talking a little bit before we started the race about Cam having to, work from Green Bay, and he says he really loves this weekend because he gets to come to the racetrack. Every place else, he's doing it remotely. But man, Wicht is just flying in this car.
I love that car. That car. I love my British cars, but that, to me, that is just sex on wheels out here. And he's coming up against Richard Grant here at turn 14. Richard Grant in that Stuttgart Cup from the beautiful state of Tennessee. We were talking about that, and Brad told me it was Milton's birthday just a couple days ago, and Milton joined us at Mid-Ohio and at Indy. And now Richard, his brother, both of them have been racing for over 50 years. And in that 50-year span, every year they took a green flag in a race. That's how they gauged it. They never took a year off. And that, to me, that you're living right if you can race for 50 years.
Yeah.
And both of them have been married for over 50 years.
There you go. Good on them.
But man, that Bentley looks huge against that Cayman, doesn't it?
It does. I'm sure it weighs a lot more, and so he's got a little more trouble under the brakes. Obviously, he's got much more mass. He has to bring down the speed, so that allows the Porsches to get a little bit closer. But there is no doubt that the Bentley is the one to have. And this morning, at least, he has been dominant here, opening up a huge lead, 34 seconds now for the Bentley over Reg Williams, who's no slouch in that 008, as we've been talking about. It was a pretty good battle. Mustafa Bakir in the 06 and Joe Rizzo right behind him in the 24. That's going on for 9th and 10th place. Rizzo again in one of the Caymans. Mustafa in the GT992. So again, a Cayman GT3 battle here.
And Mustafa's
Rizzo's
a good
right
driver.
on his tail here. Yeah, Mustafa's really good. He was mixing it up at the sharp edge of the field in the first of the sprint races yesterday.
Rizzo with BGB. Looking outside at the garage living turn 3. Mustafa just holding his line, not getting rattled.
Rizzo, a Floridian from Lutz, Florida.
And Bakir as well. I think he has a shop and a dealership, a car dealership in, I believe, the Tampa area, Josh was telling me.
Yeah. As they head under the Sargento Bridge and then in the deep shadows here in the early morning hours, down the hill toward turn 5. See the car squirming just a little bit under the brakes as Mustafa right at threshold braking, and here comes the over-under as Rizzo trying to get inside by the time they get to turn 6, but can't quite get close enough.
What you said about the torque of the 992s, I think it just showed right there. Going up the hill, getting onto the power, I just feel like they might have a little bit more torque. White flag has been out on Wicht. Jets Mama has joined us again, talking about handsome Rob Garza in that number 67 Audi. So we appreciate that. There goes one of the extreme velocity cars, the Stuttgart, that's currently in 4th. So that should be Camp.
Under the Mission Foods Bridge. The beach just off to the right of this camera shot. As they make it through the kink.
If you watch International GT social media, Sarah, their social media director, who I see, I think, on the starter stand, she took some of the drivers to Mission Beach yesterday and did a little photo shoot. It's really cool. Check that out. But here's our leader, Wicht, going up the hill. Hasn't put a wheel wrong.
We're in the final stages of this one, 22 minutes into this 30-minute race, so about 7-8 minutes still remaining, but no change at the front as Charles Wicht has opened up a 40-second lead, 4-0.
That's the biggest lead he's had.
It is
so
indeed.
I wonder if he
even with the Enduro, which was twice as long as one of these races, he wasn't that far out front.
I wonder if he put different tires on.
It could be. Maybe a fresh set of Pirellis for this race.
But it's a new car to him, he said. You know, last year he joined us in that Callaway, that beautiful car.
Yep.
And here's handsome Rob.
That's the other GTX or exhibition class car, that Audi R8 LMP GT4. So he's at a bit of a disadvantage. The GT4 car is not quite as powerful as the GT3 cars. And so he's at a little bit of a straight line advantage for sure. But he's circulating in 14th position right now. Pretty much by himself. He's about 14 seconds behind Kurt Kropp. Really interesting that Kurt has not been up near the sharp edge this week.
I thought the same thing.
He's the points leader. We normally see him winning these races, and he's kind of been off the pace here this weekend. So don't know if the track doesn't agree with him as the checkered flag flies.
But I love that because what he did by going up behind that Ferrari, I hope the Ferrari knows he can do another lap. That's not his checkered flag.
Right.
So by not finishing in front of the Ferrari, it gives him another 4.5 miles that he can race if he'd like to. Yusuf Nabi, last year's Maranello Cup champion.
Nabi just behind Robert Garza in that Audi. So Garza was a lap down as our leader came to the stripe. So he has seen the checkers.
Yusuf Nabi, one of our veterans.
Yep.
And, we're celebrating the 250th anniversary next weekend. But he was a police officer and a veteran, I believe, in the Army, the U.S. Army. So, we have a few veterans in International GT. Cliff Kayer as well.
Yep.
And so it's great to see. We love that. And we're at Road America, so it's cool. Last year, Yusuf had a different Ferrari at COTA, but he had little U.S. military insignias on his car at COTA last year. There we go. There's Bob Gee taking the finish. What a great weekend for my friend Bob Gee. Ricky Bob Gee. Michael Origer and that whole team, Tommy Byrne, even Stuart Black and his crew, they've got to be really proud of the efforts. Now, Mike Origer, who is usually on the top step of the podium in S Ferry Group 6, he's got some work to do. We'll see if Stephanie gets him to work. Look at those trees. What a pretty place.
Man. This really gives you an idea of just how beautiful this facility is, this high drone shot here in the Kettle Moraine of northeastern Wisconsin. Absolutely gorgeous country up here. This natural terrain with all of its ups and downs. unchanged since it was carved out of this wilderness back in 1955.
I think the last track that is still the original layout.
Yep.
Here comes handsome Rob Garza to take the finish. He had what we'd call a mechanical the other day. Remember late in the race, he had to pull off a can. He ran out of gas.
Oh, no.
Yep. So that's the kind of mechanical you want to have.
You can see the Motorplex, the go-kart track there in the inside of the infield section of Hurry Downs, heading down toward turn number 8. Ben, thanks so much for being with us. He's got to head down to Victory Circle, but here's your finishing order. Charles Wicht with a commanding win. Reg Williams taking second spot, and first among the Mission Foods GT3 Cup competitors, Cliff Kayer, second in GT3 Cup, Matthew Cohn, third in GT3 Cup, and then the first of the Caymans, William Oliver, in fifth, and the first of the Caymans, Coleman Hall, Robert Gee, and heading down the order, Joseph Rizzo taking the final podium spot in the Stuttgart Cup. Don't go away. We've got a full day of streaming for you. Next up will be the FRP Formula 1600 Heat Race number 2 coming up in just a few minutes' time. But we're happy to have you with us from beautiful Road America, America's National Park of Speed.
Okay, so pretend this is your race car. It's on the trailer, and you have an accident. Ouch! At least your truck's insurance will pay for another one? Yeah, not so fast. Standard insurance won't replace your race car, whether it's in the trailer, in the paddock, in the garage, or the repair shop. But at Hagerty, we can protect it for what it's really worth anytime it's off the track. No matter what or where you race, offer less than a set of race tires. Hagerty, let's drive together.
Rev up and get ready for race day with Mission Foods. The world's best racers and tastiest products come together to make every race delicious. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy to make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Big news for car lovers everywhere. Now you can get Next Gen at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store. Every Next Gen formula is built with advanced ceramic technology, and that means a deep gloss finish, serious protection, and long-lasting durability for your paint. World-class racing teams trust Next Gen to protect their race cars under the toughest conditions. And you can trust Next Gen to protect your car every day. Find Next Gen ceramic protection at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Get ready for race day with Stack Auto Lifts. The world's fastest racers and the most trusted garage lifts come together to elevate every moment on and off the track. From rugged 4-post lifts and powerful 2-post systems to space-saving single-post and scissor lifts, Stack Auto Lifts delivers strength, precision, and performance for every garage. Brought to you by Stack Auto Lifts, created by racers for racers. Proud partner of Race America for the 2026 season.
Welcome to RacingAmerica.tv. From the local short tracks to the road racing stars of Trans Am, we have you covered. Subscribe now for live access to over 200 grassroots races streaming all season long. Watch anytime, anywhere on your phone, tablet, or TV apps. Get a 10-year archive of grassroots races, plus behind-the-scenes NASCAR team coverage. And when the spotlight turns to Trans Am, Racing America brings you front-row access to the action. This is racing at every level. This is Racing America.
Welcome back to Road America in beautiful Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. My name's John Phippen. Joining me in the booth is Eric Miller, the voice of Road America. Eric, so great to have you on the broadcast. Let me do a quick introduction of our starters here as we're already on the pace lap for the second heat race of the weekend for the FRP F1600 drivers. Greg Peluso will start outside of row 6 in the 03 Magala. Next to him, the 8 of Jack Haydu in a Van Diemen. In the fifth row is car number 12, Bob Reed in a Spectrum, and the number 3 of Jake Leroy in a Magala. Christian Meniz, the points leader, back in 8th place outside of row 4 in car 4. Next to him, the 06 of David Ibarra in a Magala. Then we've got the sixth position is the 85 of David Livingston in his Spectrum, and then Boss Patel in the number 6 Piper DL7. In row 2, Phil Kingham on the outside in the number 47 Spectrum, and the 75 of Axel Leroy, that's Jake's brother, in another of the Magalas. On the front row, the 33 of David Adorno in his Magala, and Cooper Travis, the pole sitter, in car number 17. Interesting story here. Christian Meniz is the points leader in the F1600 class. And he is one of several drivers from Canada, and they had trouble getting their cars across the border. So Meniz has been struggling all weekend because he's had to rent a car to get into the race, and it's been problematic. So Meniz has been about mid-pack at the last couple of races, and not showing his normal dominance because his race car is stuck up in Canada. So, interesting story.
Not ideal.
Not ideal, absolutely. James Rogerson takes the Skillman Auto Group safety car into the pit lane, turning the front row over to Cooper Travis and David Adorno. We have a Masters class drivers as well. David Adorno is one of our Masters drivers. We have a number of them in the field. And then the rest of the 1600s, but the cars are all the same. Formula Fords, basically. These are 1600cc, almost exclusively Honda power plants these days, which is why in SCCA parlance we call them Formula Fs, since they're no longer Formula Fords. The Formula Fit is the engine moniker. But it looks like Cooper Travis is going to have the lead, and ducking in right behind him is David Adorno. So our top two on the starting grid have the top two positions, but that is not going to last. Believe me, we're going to have lots of side-by-side racing as they head down into turn number 3. Slotting into that third spot is Axel Leroy in the 75 as they work their way out of 3 under the Sargento Bridge and down the hill toward turn 5. I love this Formula Ford class, man.
You know, this is a fantastic class here at Road America just because of these long straightaways, including here through the Moraine Sweep underneath the Sargento Bridge. Down to 5 as Adorno looks to go the long way around under braking.
Heavy on the brakes, and he gets it done as he chops the nose off that 17 car of Cooper Travis. And then slotting into third place, I believe that was Phil Kingham working his way forward. Actually, Kingham's a little deeper in the pack in that blue number 47. David Livingston in the thick of the battle, too. Another one of our Masters drivers in the 85 car. That's the car with the orange highlights back in about 4th position as they work their way down the hill to Hurry Downs into turn number 8. You see the 06 of David Ibarra, one of the more aggressive drivers in the field out of Louisville, Texas, in that Magala. Showing a nose on this very first lap. As you can see, it's pack racing, man. Nobody's getting away in this one like in the races we just saw for the International GT. These guys are stuck together.
Squeeze as much as you can. Cars get a little twitchy through there with the aero as well. You know, with these cars getting less tire, more kind of dependent upon the toe, real easy to see a lot of swaps. Contact into 12.
Indeed. The 17 goes around. That's our pole sitter, Cooper Travis, as David Adorno a little too late on the brakes and took him out. So Travis hopefully will be able to rejoin the fray, but he is going to have an uphill struggle from here on out. So the 75 of Axel Leroy is now at the point. Adorno in second spot, and I think Travis is done. He's given a thumbs up to the corner marshal, letting him know that he's okay, but I would be very surprised if we don't see a safety car. That car is not in a great spot. No word from race control yet, so we're 3 wide going into turn number 1. There's the 33 of Adorno on the inside.
Oh, that's a turn 1. This is a corner 1 to 3, the complex here. You try to get as much momentum through the corner here at Road America as you can because it leads down into the braking zone into turn 5. You'll see a lot of passes at 5 originate through the apex at 1.
The two teammates at the front, Boss Patel and Axel Leroy. See the similar paint scheme on those cars as they work their way down the hill. But here comes Adorno again. Adorno will not be denied here. He is absolutely going for it as he tries to get up into that second spot, gets it done. You can see the red machine of Jake Leroy right there as well. And then the orange highlights on the car of David Livingston as they work their way through turn number 7. Looks like the corner workers have got Cooper Travis pushed away from the barrier. And I think he's going to try to continue here, but he's going to go down a lap here. I think he's just trying to get behind the barrier so he's in a safe place so they don't have to bring out the safety car. Axel Leroy at the point. Boss Patel right behind him. Patel in a borrowed race car as well, one of the Canadian drivers. As they blast through the kink, through Kettle Bottoms on their way down to Canada Corner. 06 of Ibarra now up into the front position as Ibarra taking the lead way from David Adorno. This order shuffling at just about every turn on the racetrack. So it's Ibarra, Adorno, then Boss Patel in the 6, and right behind him the 75 of Axel Leroy. As they make the climb up the hill. Doing a dress rehearsal for the final lap of this race here. As we can see, Cooper Travis about to be caught by these leaders. Travis still on the lead lap, but he's going to have to hustle to keep from going a lap down. Adorno making the car as wide as possible and then deep down to the inside is the 3-car champion. He has to slot in behind him.
At least 5 or 6 passes for the lead in the last 2 laps, but that's the FRP 1600 race strategy, and you and I are both kind of on the same page thinking that off of 14. They're setting up what their runs are going to look like. This is one of those classes where you don't want to necessarily be first or second coming off of 14 on the final corner. We've routinely seen 2, 3, 4 wide at the finish. This race is shaping up to kind of look like that.
If you watch Spec Miatas, this is the Spec Miata of open wheel racing, basically. These cars are so evenly matched. They can race side by side, nose to tail, no wings. They don't have to worry about aero wash. It's all about mechanical grip and driver's skill. And they, as you can see, and we've got 2 cars together. That's Livingston and the 3 of Jake Leroy. And they are beached. Livingston's not going anywhere. Jake Leroy as well. Yep. And that's at the outside of turn 6. That is most likely going to bring our safety car into play. Unfortunately, our last sprint race for these drivers finished behind the safety car, so we weren't treated to that photo finish that we were all expecting. But it looks to me that Boss Patel has made his way to the front. David Ibarra right behind him. Then Adorno, I think they're in 3rd spot. But here comes Ibarra as he's going to duck to the inside at the kink. And he goes a little wide. Yikes, that was close.
A lot of high humidity here in Road America over the course of the last couple of days as the temperature is expected to be in the 90s tomorrow. And you can see a little bit of that early morning humidity on the paint around the kink there. That was close.
Indeed, yeah. He almost lost it, and that is not a place to do it with a whole pack of cars right behind you for sure. As Ibarra with the lead. That's Adorno, the lead Masters driver, in the 2nd spot. And looks like they're going to go full Courchevel. You can see the drivers raising their hands, indicating that they're going to be backing the pace down. Yep, safety car is going to be called into play. Double yellow flags being shown around the racetrack. So let's catch our breath and give a rundown here. David Adorno was the leader the last time by, but that order is going to change now. So David Ibarra is your leader. David Adorno, the lead Masters driver, in second spot in the 33 car. The red number 6 of Boss Patel in third. Axel Leroy in the number 75 in a fourth spot. Christian Moniz up to fifth as he's gradually coming to grips with that rental car. Phil Kingman is the second of the Masters drivers in sixth spot in the 47. Bob Reed, another Masters driver, in the 12 and seventh spot. Jack Haydu in the 8 in eighth. Greg Peluso, Masters driver, in the 03 ninth. David Livingston in the 85, one of the drivers involved in that incident. In fact, we see Livingston's car off to your right. Jake Leroy, the other car involved in that incident at turn 6. Cooper Travis will be thanking the racing gods for this opportunity, as it will allow him to close up on the back and stay on the lead lap. So Travis, unless he has come into the pits, he has not come by to complete race lap number 3. So I think Travis may have gone into the pits.
Looking over, just kind of looking at fast laps here in this race. I know that doesn't really mean a whole lot, but you're looking at Jake Leroy, quickest on the session, a 2:26 flat, and obviously ends up over in the beach in turn 6. That's unfortunate. That car was really quick here in the early going.
While we're under the behind the safety car, let's take a quick break to thank some of the folks that make this broadcast possible. We'll be right back.
Okay, so pretend this is your race car. It's on the trailer, and you have an accident. Ouch! At least your truck's insurance will pay for another one? Yeah, not so fast. Standard insurance won't replace your race car, whether it's in the trailer, in the paddock, in the garage, or the repair shop. But at Haggerty, we can protect it for what it's really worth anytime it's off the track. No matter what or where you race, offer less than a set of race tires. Haggerty, let's drive together.
Rev up and get ready for race day with Mission Foods. The world's best racers and tastiest products come together to make every race delicious. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy-to-make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Big news for car lovers everywhere. Now you can get Next Gen at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store. Every Next Gen formula is built with advanced ceramic technology, and that means a deep gloss finish, serious protection, and long-lasting durability for your paint. World-class racing teams trust Next Gen to protect their race cars under the toughest conditions. And you can trust Next Gen to protect your car every day. Find Next Gen ceramic protection at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Get ready for race day with Stack Auto Lifts. The world's fastest racers and the most trusted garage lifts come together to elevate every moment on and off the track. From rugged 4-post lifts and powerful 2-post systems to space-saving single-post and scissor lifts, Stack Auto Lifts delivers strength, precision, and performance for every garage. Brought to you by Stack Auto Lifts, Created by racers for racers. Proud partner of Race America for the 2026 season.
Welcome to RacingAmerica.tv. From the local short tracks to the road racing stars of Trans Am, we have you covered. Subscribe now for live access to over 200 grassroots races streaming all season long. Watch anytime, anywhere on your phone, tablet, or TV apps. Get a 10-year archive of grassroots races, plus behind-the-scenes NASCAR team coverage. And when the spotlight turns to Trans Am, Racing America brings you front-row access to the action. This is racing at every level. This is Racing America.
Welcome back to America's National Park of Speed, beautiful Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, as we are still behind the safety car for our second heat race of the weekend for our FRP Formula 1600 class cars. My name's John Phippen, alongside Eric Miller, the voice of Road America, as we are getting ready to go back to racing action. David Ibarra at the point. Masters driver David Adorno in second, Boss Patel in third, Axel Leroy fourth, Christian Moniz, his best position of the weekend so far, in the number 4. In fifth spot, Phil Kingham, right behind him in the blue number 47, Bob Reed in the 12, Jack Haydu in the 8, Greg Peluso in the 03. Cooper Travis was able to close up to the back of the pack, so Cooper Travis still on the lead lap, and this is a blessing for him, as he was taken out with a collision with another driver on the second lap, I think it was, down into Canada Corner, but has been able to catch up to the back of the pack behind the safety car.
One of the things you got to keep on an eye on with Cooper is that left front was buried in the gravel for a considerable amount of time. A lot of stones there.
Yep.
So he had to be very ginger coming back to the back of the field just to clean those tires up a bit.
Yeah. Also want to make sure he doesn't have any stones caught in any of the brake rotors. That's an issue that they have to be careful of. So I'm sure he's been testing the brakes to be sure that he's got good, clean braking power here. As you can see, the car is weaving, hoping that we'll come back to green here. Normally the lights will go out on the safety car at about turn 11, which we are approaching now, if they're ready to go back to green. And look, they got David Livingston out of the gravel trap, and he is hustling around to catch up to the back of the pack. And Jake Leroy not being shown on our timing screen as being on the lap. Livingston is a lap down to the rest of the field, so yep, lights are out on the safety car, so we are headed for a restart here. It'll be a single file rolling restart, as we've got about 11 and a half minutes or 7 laps to go in this one, whichever comes first. I'm guessing time will be the limiting factor here after this long full course yellow. Good shot of the number 12 of Bob Reed, one of our Masters drivers out of Millbrook, New York, in that Spectrum, as they climb up out of Thunder Valley into the Bill Mitchell Bend. You can see Greg Peluso motioning to the drivers behind him to line up. Let's get in the draft. You can do this side-by-side racing once you get into the braking zone for turn 1. Okay, here they come. Ibarra and Adorno at the front. Nicely formed up as they climb the hill. Under the new drive-over bridge, debuted a couple of seasons ago. Coming to the attention of the starter. We'll get the restart with just about 10 minutes remaining in this race. Green flag flies, and here we go. And Adorno pops out almost immediately, as he has been very aggressive as our lead Masters driver, right at the front. Boss Patel puts himself right in the middle there. Ibarra on the inside. Patel's going to try to stay on the outside as they go through turn number 1. He's still there, but Ibarra will have the inside line coming down to 3. Adorno decides to follow Ibarra through, but then thinks better of it. But Boss Patel looking racy here as he takes over second spot, shuffling the Masters leader, David Adorno, back to third.
Axel Leroy goes to driver's left underneath Sardeno Bridge. We're going to go 2 by 2. into the Marine sweep. Here under braking towards turn 5. This is usually where it gets a little dicey once the tires are cooled off a little bit. Got to make sure they're clean on the scrub up.
Axel Roy trying to go around the outside. Can't quite get it done. Ibarra still hangs on to that lead. But on the inside there is Boss Patel in that red car, still in that second position. Roy and Adorno battling for the third spot as they make it through turn number 7. Down the Hurry Downs into turn 8.
Another great passing opportunity, especially here on the restart when they're all packed up. Tight 90-degree left-hander, but this sets up the long run into Kettle Bottoms towards Canada Corner.
Under the Motul Bridge into the carousel turn. Slightly downhill. The camera angle doesn't give you that shot, but it's a kind of a corkscrew almost as that carousel turn feeds downhill. And then into the kink. Ibarra, followed by Boss Patel and David Adorno in the third spot. Axel Leroy right behind him. Let's watch the progress of Cooper Travis to see if he's got the pace. And there he comes. Travis up to about 8th now. As Ibarra goes wide and allows Boss Patel to take over the lead. Ibarra slots back into about 4th position as he carried the braking into Canada just a little bit too late.
Axel Leroy up to the second spot, kind of used that mistake to a timely advantage to dive to the inside off the 12. Now carry this long uphill underneath the bridge, coming to the start-finish line again. Here, FRP F1600, always fun here, but these packs just stay so tight, and the racing is fantastic, especially when they get into turn 1 as well here. 3 wide down the front stretch.
Cooper Travis up to 7th, and he's going for 6th now, as Travis very much a factor here. He started on the pole, remember, and he took advantage of the yellow to catch back up to the back of the pack. Again, don't know if he's got any damage to that car. Like I said, he spent some time in the gravel trap at Canada, but he is working his way forward. Change at the front as Adorno able to slot up into that top spot. And then here comes Ibarra popping out once again. Adorno in the 33, Ibarra then the 75 of Axel Leroy. Ibarra retakes that spot. Leroy gets in right behind him. Adorno into 3rd. Axel shuffled back, or Boss Patel, should I say, shuffled back to 4th as they work their way through turn 7.
Final 6.5 minutes here, John. Adorno looks like he's positioned himself back to the front of the field and able to kind of know how he needs to navigate this. Wouldn't be surprised, though, if we see a couple more lead changes before the conclusion.
Oh, yeah. I think that's almost guaranteed. There's Cooper Travis up to 6th now as he got around Phil Kingham to take over that position. Christian Moniz just in front of him in that rented number 4.
Adorno back to 4th through the kink.
Cooper Travis 3rd in the points standings coming into this weekend. Again, the points haven't been updated since the start of the weekend, but they're to the inside. Axel Leroy going to take the position. David Ibarra right in behind him. And Boss Patel in the red car. They work their way through the Bill Mitchell Bend and then down into the final turn on the racetrack, turn 14.
What I love about these F1600 cars, you can still see the driver head movement looking in their mirrors.
Yep.
You know, it's a very deliberate look to the left. If you saw Axel Leroy do that coming into the inside of 12, he wanted to make sure he was clear. Great battle again, side by side for the second spot here. Coming down the front straightaway. Looks like the 06 of Ibarra back out front.
That's Patel right behind him, and then Adorno in the white number 33. And here is Cooper Travis up to 4th. Cooper Travis, after being down and out in Canada Corner, is in the battle in the lead draft here. As he thinks about making a move on Adorno, falls back in single file. He's got to be careful because right behind him is the 75 of Axel Leroy. Travis just set the fastest lap of the race. So the pole sitter on the way back here with 4.5 minutes remaining.
No question, he's got a fast car. Looks like no issues with the stones from the gravel as he's trying to slice his way through traffic here as well.
Ibarra down to the inside. Travis trying to follow him. Travis trying to make it 3 wide. Locks him up. That's going to cost him some momentum, and that's going to allow Adorno to get by him. So Travis now side by side in the battle for 4th. Stays there and gets it through turn 6, but Adorno's going to get the better run out of 6, and he'll take the position into 7.
Actually, I believe that is Axel Leroy as Adorno up to the 3rd spot, just ahead of that battle.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Thank you, Eric.
This is great stuff, though, John. I mean, we routinely see this every FRP race here, whether it's 1600. You know, we still see a little bit of a field kind of stretch out in 2000, but they're still great races as well.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We'll see those later this afternoon. The F2000s and the Atlantics, again, with wings, they can't run as close. They can't be as aggressive in their passing maneuvers as these drivers are able to. This is such a great training ground for young drivers coming right out of go-karting. And you see the Masters drivers continuing to do this because it's just so much fun. They just love the competition. It's very reminiscent of Formula V, very similar. Side by side there between Boss Patel and David Ibarra. That gives Leroy a little bit of an advantage up at the front. No, that's Ibarra at the front, sorry. Similar liveries on those two cars.
Adorno locked up the right front, headed into the corner on the inside of 12, and kind of dropped him back right to the clutches of Cooper Travis again now.
And here comes Travis already, and he's got some help from behind as Axel Leroy giving him a little push. Popping out side by side coming into turn 1. Travis wants to go all the way to the inside, locks him up once again, but he's up to 3rd. Cooper Travis with 2.5 minutes to go. We might see the white silk next time by.
High risk, but rewarded well there into turn 1.
Yeah, no question. At the tail end of this pack, the 12 of Bob Reed, but the top 8 all in a bunch here. You can see David Livingston in that orange liveried car catching up to the back of the pack, but he is a lap down. Ibarra, then Patel. And here comes Travis. Tried to go to the inside, thinks better of it, stays in single file. But that's going to open the door for Adorno.
Cooper Travis going to be got to be very careful with the changing lines coming out of the exit of 5 there. Underneath in the hurry downs towards turn 8. Another, we said earlier, great passing opportunity here. But Ibarra kind of pulling away here just a bit.
Travis shows a nose to Boss Patel, but falls back in line astern, and that opens the door for Adorno to try to go around the outside as they come into the carousel. It's pretty much a single file turn. There's all sorts of debris and clag just off the racing line there, so you really can't go around the outside with any success, especially late in the weekend like we are now.
Patel and Travis Cooper might want to try to hook up here and try to get into a tow situation, because if Ibarra gets a little bit too far out, then it's really not beneficial to stay in line, and then you got to race for 2nd and 3rd.
Travis going on the outside of Patel, trying to take over 2nd spot. David Adorno locking up as they go through Canada corner.
Almost contact. Travis Cooper had to bail out of the throttle there, and Adorno got caught up. And it looks like Axel Leroy now outside of the 33 of Adorno, and Adorno's going to drop back almost to 5th or 6th here.
Coming to the white silk as they make the run out of turn 14 and up the hill. Cooper Travis from the gravel trap at Canada corner, working his way back up into a podium position here. But don't count your chickens just yet. We've got 4 more miles of racetrack to settle this one. Ibarra appears to be pretty comfortable, but out alone like that, he's out to dry. And here comes Travis going around the outside of Boss Patel. Patel, though, takes the inside line, so he'll have the advantage coming down into turn number 3. So Patel retakes that position. Travis in 3rd. It's Adorno just behind him. Axel Leroy there as well. As Ibarra getting away. Ibarra sets fast lap of the race, a 24.6 on the penultimate lap. And these guys better hook up if they're going to draft him down, or they're going to be battling for 2nd. Cooper Travis with the inside line. David Adorno. Boss Patel around the outside in the red car. So Travis up to second now. As they make their way out of turn 6, then into the right-hander at turn 7. And down, hurry down. So Ibarra getting away at the front. Unless they stop racing, they're not going to catch him. Oh, David Adorno, big lockup. Almost loses it at turn 8. That's going to cost him momentum in several positions.
A lot of positions there, but what a great save by Adorno. That thing was sideways all the way to next Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. This 3-car battle is going to be the battle for second. I don't think they can catch Ibarra from this point. Travis losing a little bit, trying to block an inside pass through the King. That's going to cost him some momentum coming through Kettle Bottoms for the final time, and there goes Boss Patel. Patel bringing the 75 of Axel Leroy with it. Adorno locking up again as he gets passed by Phil Kingham, and that's the battle for the lead in Masters. So Kingham likely going to take the Masters win here. As Adorno locking him up on repeated turns here. Now, this will be the run to the line for this second, third, and fourth place. Ibarra's got this one settled, but the final 2 podium spots are not. They're going to draft as far as they can and then pop out at the last minute as they come to the line. Patel, it looks like it was Patel by a whisker. Cooper Travis not quite able to get it done as they came to the line. Ibarra taking the win. Travis is shown as the second place finisher on timing and scoring. I was pretty sure that he was a little late getting there, but timing and scoring doesn't lie. Boss Patel, 14 thousandths of a second behind Cooper Travis in third. Axel Leroy comes home fourth. Phil Kingham takes the Masters honors in the number 47 in the fifth spot. Christian Moniz salvaging his weekend with a 6th place finish in that rented number 4 Van Diemen. Bob Reed in the number 12, finishing in 7th. Second amongst the Masters, or third amongst, second amongst the Masters. David Adorno has to settle for third in the Masters after having a fraught final lap. Jack Haydu comes home 9th. Greg Peluso, another Masters driver, in the 0-3 in 10th. David Livingston a lap down in 11th spot. Jake Leroy fell out after lap number 2. Scott Rebenzer and John Farmer unable to take the start. Scott Rebenzer had an engine expire early in the weekend, and John Farmer had a problem as well on Thursday. So with that, we're going to turn this over to Alan Bestwick and Andy Petrie as they will have the pre-race festivities leading up to the start of our Trans Am TA Cup and GT class race. They'll be next on the stream, but there's plenty of racing going on here at the track. We'll be with you on the PA for TA Sprint coming up at 9:15. On behalf of Eric Miller, I'm John Phippen. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you later today.